You really think they woke up and said, wow, black people are human after all. Let's be nice. They didn't desegregate because they loved us.
I understand what you're trying to say, and I would like it if more Republicans were like you. However, some of the issues and some of your talking points, I feel like you're removing some context. Like, even with the whole thing, you talked about Rosa Parks, how, you know, her husband owned a car and all that. That's not the point. They were doing that to protest. Even if you do have a car, there are probably plenty of black people that did.
Did you hear the part that I said that we had our own bus line?
I know, but we shouldn't have that. Because you were talking about how everyone should be together, we should all unify. But if we stay separate, if we keep having black water fountains and white water fountains, white schools and black schools, we'll never have that unity.
There's a difference between natural immigration or migration between the races and forced desegregation. When you force it, you cause animosity and chaos. When you let it be a natural thing, it happens a lot more smoother. Not everybody discriminated against each other. There was black and white people getting together all the time. It was certain places where they held true to those structural things that were Democrats put into place to cause division. I don't think that she should have forced that. I think that black people should have had their own bus line and became competitive, and then therefore they merged. Because that's the problem with our societies. We gave up a lot of our own generational wealth trying to get in the bed with a group of people that didn't really want us at the time. We had resources that we forfeited. We had education systems that we could teach our own history if we wanted to, but we forfeited that to stage this issue that wasn't as prevalent as Martin Luther King and the others made it.
Back, I want to know where I'm not welcome, okay? Put them signs back up, colors only, whites only. Let's do it, all right? Rip the Band-Aid off, especially for a restaurant. Are you kidding me? Whites only? What do I want to do in there? What they got? Mashed potatoes, mayonnaise, hot dogs. Colors only, we got seasoning, turmeric, paprika.
Okay, I like this.
Okay.
You're saying that the black excellence.
Absolutely.
The segregation is to get the
colored excellence.
Okay.
Okay, what's the playlist in the whites only spot? They playing Carrie Underwood and Kid Rock. We playing Babyface and Diggable Planets. Ain't no overhead lighting. What are you talking about?
Wait, where am I going?
Coloreds.
Hell yeah.
Look at his hair. Talking about where am I going? That's the problem with North Africans.
That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. I'm in. 100% agree. Let's go.
Talking about where I'm going.
Oh, man, yeah.
What happens to you in the summertime?
Where are we putting the Italians?
Listen.
I just want to know.
I don't need their food. I don't like tomatoes.
So they're going on the white side.
Black people spend over $1 trillion a year. I would love for the government to force us to spend it on our own people.
This is very good.
Yeah,
I like this a lot.
I brought you over to the side.
And the black airplane?
Oh, come on, the Soul Plane, baby.
I want to be on Soul Plane.
Yes, it's going to be noisy on there, but that's what noise cancellation headphones are for. You know what I'm saying?
And they're going to have all the good movies?
All the good movies, all the good music.
Oh, man.
And while we at it, bring back sundown towns. They never left, but...
What's that?
Well, a sundown town was back in the day during Jim Crow, where black people weren't allowed to be in a town after the sunset.
Wow.
So those towns never left. They still exist in America, but they took the signs down. I want them to put the signs back up. I wanted to say 248 miles to the next town that likes colored people. Get your gas in Atlanta. Don't stop till you get to Savannah, all right?
I'm with her.
He with me.
Whenever the word segregation comes up, especially from black communities calling for self-sufficiency or independence, white Americans start to panic. But why? What is it about separation that scares them so much? Watch and pay attention, and I will share my thought later.
You really think they woke up and said, wow, black people are human after all. Let's be nice. They didn't desegregate because they loved us. They desegregated because they couldn't afford to look stupid on the world stage. And they couldn't afford to let us get too powerful without them. After World War II, America was busy trying to sell itself as the leader of the free world. You know, democracy, liberty, justice for all. All the same stuff they were never giving to black people at home. Meanwhile, the Soviet Union was pointing and laughing. Freedom. Y'all can't even let black kids drink from the same water fountain. And America? They couldn't bomb their way out of that bad press. So the same people who spent decades lynching us, burning us out of towns, and pretending we didn't exist, decided it was time to clean up their image. Desegregation was never about morality. It was always about marketing. One thing they never tell you about desegregation, we weren't begging to sit next to them. We were thriving without them. Black businesses were booming. Black schools were educating future doctors, lawyers, and scientists. Black neighborhoods were self-sufficient. And they couldn't have that. Because if we didn't need them, they couldn't control us. Simple math. But instead of congratulating us, they used desegregation as a way to bulldoze everything we built. Black schools shut down. Black teachers fired by the thousands. Black businesses starved out once the black dollar started flowing into white businesses. Yeah, they didn't integrate with us. They absorbed what we built and threw the rest away like leftovers. And today they have the nerve to ask why black communities are still rebuilding. Because y'all didn't just move the goalpost. Y'all burnt the whole field. Desegregation wasn't a handshake. It was a hostile takeover. They didn't open the doors because they respected us. They opened the doors just wide enough to flood everything that we built and call it progress. So the next time somebody tells you to be grateful for desegregation, remind them that we didn't get rights because they loved us. We got them because we fought like hell while they smiled for the cameras. They didn't integrate us. They invaded us. And we're still rebuilding what they couldn't steal. You really think they woke up and said, wow, black people are human after all. Let's be nice.
I have a theory that's based off history and facts, and it comes from one little simplistic racist statement. If we had never got y'all from Africa, y'all would basically be wild animals in the woods, right? Because you got to think about this way. Sure, we didn't get all the credit we deserved during slavery for all the things that we created. But you know one thing about black folks, if times get hard, we're going to find a way to make them motherfuckers manageable or easier. Instead of we were doing all the hard work, there were a lot of inventions that were being made by black folks that never got the credit. Slavery ends, we slip right into what? Segregation in the Jim Crow era. Now, this is where things get good. Because on our own, we built towns, billion-dollar businesses, schools, our own professional teams, communities, everything in between. On our own, we were thriving. And to them, that was just the greatest insult because, quite literally, heck, they needed us. I thought they needed us when it really turned out in reality that y'all needed us, but neither here nor there. So it comes down to, well, how can we get them to need us? We need to find out how they're doing it. I got an idea. Let's burn down their towns. Now you're cooking, Jackson. No, that didn't work either. How about let's bomb their towns? Ooh, yeah, you're on to something now. Oh my God, another one. Let's flood their towns. Good golly, let's do that. And then when that didn't work, y'all got a little more psychological. You know, you started flooding the black communities with drugs, liquor stores, and guns, and then built the shit out of prisons to make sure that you had somewhere to put those black men. Y'all started a war on the black family where basically the mothers were required basically to survive is to get the black man out the home. Y'all took all the trade jobs out of our communities where people could go from school that couldn't afford college, could go work in jobs where they could learn a skill. You see, after all that, it was weakening our community. So basically where it could be, hey, y'all need us, you know, let's all live together because it's bad for both of us now, when in reality it was only bad for y'all. If we would have been left alone, we would have been fine. If we had been left alone, we would have thrived, because newsflash, Africa wasn't some poor ass country. Otherwise, y'all wouldn't keep making return trips that are steal shit from them. Africa was never poor. Black people didn't need y'all. Y'all needed us. And that's what ate y'all up alive so much that even after the horrendous decades of what y'all did, we still found the way to make it through and thrive without y'all. When everything y'all built was built off of us. That's gotta eat you up a little bit, right?
I know this video gonna make some people uncomfortable, but I'm warning you now, so keep scrolling if you think you gonna get ruffled. Either way it go, keep it cute. But I had to ask myself the other day, who asked for desegregation? Because I damn sure don't think it was us. Us. I'm talking about us. It was minding our divine business, building, thriving, creating, healing, protecting what was ours, living in rhythm with spirit and nature itself. And boom. Interruption like always. What it all boils down to is that somebody is always in black people business. Y'all know y'all cannot debate this. I don't care what ethnicity you come from. Somebody's always going to be in black people's business, regardless. We're going to be real clear, crystal even. Desegregation was not about love. It was about access, about getting close to what we built, about infiltrating what they couldn't destroy from the outside. Y'all remember when we were separated, we were unified? Look back at all those marches. Saw all of those people, all of us together. We had power, we had culture, and we had self-determination. Illusion of inclusion was the trap. What happens when you invite a spirit in your home that doesn't respect it? protected. You're going to get unity, you're going to get confusion every single time. And look, years later, we still trying to reclaim what we once protected. Oh yeah, the deeper truth is desegregation was never the victory. It was the setup. The dilution of divine energy. In my mind, now the universe is just correcting it. I remember when I talked to y'all about the great separation. It's here. This is what I was talking about. Not rooted in hate. It's rooted in alignment. This is not about superiority. This is about energetic sovereignty. The wheat and the tares, the called and the pretending, the awakened and the distracted. And we gonna be honest for just a sec. A lot of y'all been praying for this. A lot of y'all wanted this energetic distance. Remember? Shall I remind you? Because I heard y'all say y'all have outgrown the fake allies, right? What y'all call them? The culture vulture? You know, the passive aggressive ones, or the I'm spiritual but still give supremacy types. The filter is on now. Oh no, this is not segregation. This is restoration. It's not hate, it's healing. It's not exclusion, it's elevation. You're not watching history repeat, you're watching a divine reset. This is the great separation, and everybody is where they need to be, or they will be soon enough. It's time to restore what we lost when we stopped protecting our energy. That's all this is about. Of course, they want to keep your vibes low, keep you in fear, give you the illusion that they still have power. They only have it because you give it to them. That's why it's important to know and understand who you are, where you come from, so you can know where you're going. I'm just saying, change your perspective, change your life. Make sure y'all get in them comments and let me know your thoughts. If you're interested in attending Yaya's Soul Jam session, April 25th and 26th here in Atlanta, Georgia, just know those are early bird tickets right now. They are going fast. They're going up April 1st. Make sure you get yours now. They are linked below. If you're interested in open mic, make sure you head to the link in my bio, click the events tab, and fill out that registration form. Still accepting submissions until April 15th, and I have received a ton of them. Keep them coming. I want to see what y'all got. Truly appreciate y'all's engagement, and I cannot wait to see y'all there. As always, peace, love, and light, and gratitude for watching.
Let's talk about how Black teachers lost when civil rights won. Brown versus Board said schools had to integrate, and nobody said that teachers had to come with us. And guess who got left behind? Black teachers, thousands of us. Let me give you a little bit of context in case you don't know your history. Our history, American history. 1954, Brown versus Board of Education declared school segregation unconstitutional. A win, right? But here's the catch. To make room for white staff in newly integrated schools, over 38,000 Black educators and principals were pushed out, fired, demoted, or never hired again. So what was the impact of all this? Those weren't just jobs. Those were trusted community leaders, role models who helped raise generations of Black children. And when they disappeared, so did the connection, so did the mentorship, and the cultural understanding in the classroom. Today, only 7% of the teachers in the U.S. are Black. That's not just a statistic, that's a missing link in our children's educational experience. And just a personal note about me, I remember having my first Black teacher in the 7th grade. Mr. Matthews, he was my science teacher. I wonder where Mr. Matthews at now. He had fingers like sausages. Is he with the ancestors? Okay, let me get back on topic. I'm sorry. I'm the only Black teacher at my school. I think like one of maybe 10 in the entire district. Yet studies show that all of my students benefit from having a Black teacher. Incredible engagement, higher expectations, and deeper connections. And don't get mad at me, this is just the research I'm repeating. When I walk into that classroom, I bring more than just a lesson plan. I bring representation, I bring history, and I bring proof that they can be seen and heard in every space. And that matters. What would school look like today if we hadn't lost a whole generation of Black educators? And what needs to change so we don't keep losing more? Because the past isn't gone. It's still showing up in classrooms today.
Just hasn't worked.
It was really insanity on our part to think that we could send our children to be taught by races, and by sending them that they were going to change. For the most part, our children today are being destroyed. They're being sent into a hostile environment that constantly, in very insidious ways, tell them they're no good. They can't learn. And then we wonder why there's so many problems.
What is something that you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud?
Integration was not the answer. Quite frankly, I think integration was one of the worst things to happen to the Black community. Just being real. Because it wasn't even true integration, it was just desegregation. wasn't the same thing. Integration should have been dismantling both the black and white structures and creating a new structure, integrating two different things into one. Instead, what really happened was they just took down the whites only signs and just put us in their spaces. Not the same thing. And quite frankly, you know, racism and violence aside, segregation didn't sound that bad. Because the idea of an all-black school, all-black pool, all-black movie theater, all-black restaurants, that doesn't sound bad to me. I truly believe the fight was more so for equality of resources, but I don't think we was trying to sit with y'all to sing Kumbaya, but that's just me.
So they think black people really give a damn about segregation? Like, for real? Like, we welcome that shit. Like, hello? We know the power of our black dollar. We ain't no fools. We are perfectly okay with that. I guarantee y'all business is gonna shut the fuck down, though. So fuck with it if you want to. We ain't suffering. You are. Like, we always got somewhere to shop, and half of the people are not gonna adhere to it anyway because of the fact that they know that their businesses are gonna go down. Ain't nobody finna do no stupid shit like that. And let me tell you something. If we going back to colored only bathrooms and white only bathrooms, our shit gonna be clean. Cause one thing about black people, we some clean motherfuckers. So I don't know. Now I don't know about the other ones because the ones that I know that work with me don't even wash their motherfucking hands. So let's be honest. Like, I don't know what they think. I don't know what they think they doing. But I'm here to tell them that they not doing what they think they doing. Cause we ain't gonna be bothered whatsoever. As a matter of fact, run us all our shit back. As a matter of fact, run us all our shit back.
To those who say desegregation didn't work and that we were probably better off in segregated schools, how do you respond?
Desegregation doesn't work because we haven't tried it. We haven't really reorganized our schools away from racial lines. You know, we haven't used our schools and educational institutions as a way of educating human beings to work and to respect others.
And using Sam Cooke as a soundtrack to your video talking about I'm disheartened as an old white woman about the black people, or POC, which is two different things, by the way. Every time I see a video of them saying they want segregation, woe is me. Woe is me. So I got a drink because I'm so, and Sam Cooke, you speaking to me. It's been a long time coming, but change is gonna come, you speaking to me. Y'all thought I was lying? Right. And then you're asking for people to explain it to you. Baby, the question is not why do black people want segregation, or why are black people okay with not having to be in white spaces? Which, if you followed any black creators on this app, you would know why, because we've been telling y'all out of the kindness of our hearts, explaining it to you when we owe you no explanation. But there it is. But you really sat up here and made yourself the victim. The real question you should be asking is, why are there so many white people that are okay with voting into office, the head of the fucking nation, a white supremacist, racist, bigot, and rapist? Like, why are you not questioning your people as to why they're not up in arms? They're not taking to the streets. They're not fighting the good fight. Why are you in our business? Why are you worried about us? What you need to do is go handle your people. Tell them why you're upset. Tell them why this is not okay. Tell them that they should be just as upset as you are about us saying we're fine. And this is exactly why we are okay with segregation, because it is exhausting being around y'all. Y'all are literally energy vampires, and y'all are raging narcissists, and it's like you cannot not center yourselves. Like, this ain't even about you. And Sam Cooke was not singing to you or about you, ma'am. He was not singing to the woes of whiteness. Like, y'all be so fucking for real. Anyways,
America, this is how they want the whole black community to be. This is why it started in the civil rights movement when Martin Luther King Jr. in his Abbott Green speech said, 100 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, the Negro is still not free. He said 5 times in that speech that we were not free. It turned the Declaration of Independence on its head, because in our Declaration of Independence it says that our freedom was an unalienable right given us by God. John Locke in his Second Treatise of Government said that an unalienable right is a right given from God. It is irrevocable, non-transferable, and unsellable. The government cannot touch it. It supersedes law. It supersedes the Constitution. However, King said that we was coming to government and to the white man for our right to be free. Even at the end of the speech, he said, on some certain day we'll be free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we're free at last. He said in that speech, when will we be satisfied? He said, we will never be satisfied until justice rolls down like water and righteousness like a mighty stream. That's a fancy way of saying never. And so black people heard that speech and said that we were not free here in America. And we make our children recite that speech every single year on King's birthday. And they say in that speech, the Negro is still not free. And today they're still marching, 60 years later, telling black people, you're not free. Beg for reparations. Beg for affirmative action. Kill your children in the womb. Cut off your child. You castrate your children. Let drag queens come into school and shake their behinds in your children's faces. Run God out of the public square. And then they end up like George Floyd. But the one thing they do consistently is they vote for the Democrat Party, and the places where George Floyd's live, they stay in absolute power.
Facts.
White people love to segregate themselves from black people, but they do not want us to build community without them because they fear that our communities will thrive more than theirs. They are scared of what an all-black community would mean for them. They're talking about segregation now because to them, segregation is power. It is their way of controlling us. And again, they're also trying to incite us. So that way we take the streets and they can kill us. Okay? That's exactly what's going on here. Okay? And let me just tell you, white people, our communities will thrive. We don't need you.
White people, how do you feel about the segregation ban? I already know how people of color.
One word. I don't know if I can only use one word. They're very, very, very many words I could use. Disappointed. Not shocked, honestly. I am fully cognizant and aware of the country that I live in and the prevalence of white supremacy and systemic racism and a lot of other toxic bullshit things that we push on a daily basis. What's up, baby? I watered you yesterday, child. Do you need it again today? My children are houseplants. Water your children daily, folks, and feed them occasionally also. Once every, couple of days. Hey Tay, I have a question for you. The orange Mussolini just
oh, you mean the dude who never spends a second outside a Zoom cam?
Yes, that guy.
The expired orange peel man?
Yes, that guy.
The Oompa Loompa looking.
The super old, frail, wannabe dictator in our current government. Yes. He just overturned, or is trying to overturn, I don't know if it's legal, but he's trying to, if he hasn't already, overturn bans on segregation. So basically we had legislation that said you can't segregate people, you can't separate them, and those have been passed, or those have been overturned. So now we have, companies can now say, oh, I want to separate black people from white people, or whatever. I can, separate LGBTQIA community members from everyone else. Like, how does that make you feel? That that's allowed now? That's not being criminalized anymore. They can't get in trouble for segregating people
Makes
now.
me want to jump off a cliff.
Okay, that's a bit extreme. I'm talking about just, how do you feel about it? Thanks, Bren. Are you, how does it make you feel, though? I mean,
Makes me feel disappointed in society. And disappointed that Zoom hasn't canceled that man's subscription. He spent thousands of dollars on it. It's I'm convinced.
he probably has one in the White House, obviously. Probably just has a room that's
Bro, deadass.
Hand me up.
From the 90s, 80s.
But the problem is he only zoomed hands his face. Everything else is
Pale's a fucking ghost, bro.
Yep, yeah. I know, I'm disappointed in it too. Fucking sucks, man.
He's the kind of person to tell you to touch grass in a video game when he himself has never even gone outside his room.
Yeah, that's fair. Couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you for your input. What was that?
Don't go to Zoom 10 every day of the week. Quick tip, it doesn't look good. I know, like, orange, not a cool skin
If
color.
it's done right, it looks fine, but most white people don't know how to tan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't look sexy if you're orange. I mean, sometimes you do, but like...
I don't think he cares, honestly, how he looks. He's just...
Then why does he go to Zoom 10? If he doesn't care, then shouldn't he, like... not
Because old habits die hard and he's an old man. I don't know. I don't know why. Okay, I have no fucking idea why.
Like, if you're gonna get a tan, do it correctly. Don't look like the evil orange man running this country.
Or don't be the orange guy running this country or have any kind of...
His haircut is diabolically white for how orange his face is. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, it's more of like a goldy, yellowish, goldish yellow.
No, that sounds too good. It's like orange.
His hair?
No, his face.
Right.
Bet you $10 if you color swatched that, it could be dead ass like bright orange. I don't owe you $10
like that.
if you actually go do that, but still you should try.
Don't make promises to these people online. They will hold you to it, and I will have to give them I will give you $10. But no.
If you...
It won't be your $10, it'll be my $10.
If you color swatch Donald Trump's face and compare it to an actual orange, like if you take an orange PNG and his face, and if you can find spots on there that are the same color, I will give you 2 internet doubloons. I'll give you $10 if you jump off a cliff.
Okay, we're done now.
When black folks talks about segregation today, we are not talking about forced exclusion under white supremacy. We are talking about voluntary separation. Spaces where we can breathe, build, and be safe from racism. But somehow, every time that conversation starts, here comes the panic, cause of irrational racism, fear of retaliation, or cries that we are better together. Here is a fact: when black communities did build separate schools, banks, and businesses, segregation was only a problem to them when it meant black people had something for themselves. So ask yourself, was the problem really separation, or was it black independence? The fear many white people have is not about being left out, it is about being left behind. Because when black people talk segregation, they are talking empowerment, self-determination, and control over their own narrative. See, unity is great when it benefits them, but when black folks want to educate our own children, police our own communities, and circulate our own dollars, suddenly it is divisive. Let's be real, black spending power is over $1.8 trillion. What happens when that cash stops flowing into white-owned hands? Or when black parents pull their kids from schools pushing biased curriculums? When we stop waiting for inclusion and start building our own system? That is not just separation, that is liberation, and that terrifies them. Let's talk hypocrisy. Segregation is not scary when white folk do it. Gated communities, segregation. Private schools, segregations. Police unions, segregation. But when black folks say, let's live together, teach each other, protect ourselves, it becomes a threat. The real fear is this, that we no longer need them, not their validation, not their system, not their version of freedom. Because once black people truly unite, build, and separate on our own terms, it exposes the truth that their dominance has always depended on our dependency. So let's be clear, segregation is not the enemy. Oppression is, and if separation is the route to healing, thriving, and surviving, let it be. White fear of black separation is not about morality, it is about losing control. But guess what? We were never theirs to control. Thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts in the comment box below. Until next time, cheers and have a good one.